Sora and Amy put up photos of Sora's parents all over town, including their contact information, hoping that someone might recognize them and reach out. Despite asking around and following leads, they cannot get any new information. Later, Amy invites Sora to stay at her house, and though Sora agrees, he insists on covering his own food expenses since he has some money saved. Amy agrees, and as she heads to her room, Sora asks if he can hold on to Amy's phone in case any calls come through. Amy hands it over and goes to bed, but Sora stays up all night, anxiously waiting by the phone. Unfortunately, no calls come, leaving Sora disappointed and Amy surprised to see him still waiting patiently. The next day, when Amy heads to her pottery class, she encourages Sora to come along so he won't be bored at home. As they're leaving, Mamoko spots Sora from a distance and lights up with excitement, thrilled to have finally found him. When Sora and Amy drive off, Mamoko follows them on her bike. In the next scene, we see Sora and Amy in their pottery class. When Amy's phone rings, Sora quickly answers, hoping it might be news about his parents, but it's just a regular call for Amy. Disappointed, he goes outside to sit by himself. Amy, noticing Sora's sadness, brings him a small dinosaur toy to cheer him up and reassures him that they'll find his parents soon. Her words calm Sora, and he begins to feel a little better. After class, they go to a restaurant, where Amy surprises Sora with an assortment of chocolates. She explains that she wasn't sure which kind he liked best, so she got a bit of everything. Sora is delighted, and they start playfully smearing chocolate on each other's faces, laughing and having fun together. From a distance, Mamoko watches them, happy to see Sora enjoying himself, but as she observes their growing bond, she starts to feel a pang of jealousy, remembering her own affection for Sora that's been there since childhood. Saddened, she decides to leave, but just then, she realizes someone is following her. It's Kreen, the superstar she met recently. Mamoko, thinking quickly, grabs Kreen's hand and twists it, demanding to know why he's tailing her. Kreen nervously explains that he's not been following her long, only because she looked sad, and he was concerned. Mamoko, brushing off his concern, insists she's fine and asks why he'd even care. Kreen jokes that while he might be nobody now, maybe he'll mean something to her one day. He tentatively places a hand on her shoulder, only to pull it back, fearing she might hit him again. Mamoko teases him, saying just because he's handsome doesn't mean she's interested in being friends with him. Kreen replies, laughing, that at least she admitted he's handsome. He then confesses, half-jokingly, that he feels a mysterious connection with her, as if they were lovers in a past life. Mamoko bursts out laughing, saying she's never heard such nonsense, and starts to walk away. As she's leaving, Kreen stops her, noticing a reporter nearby who's been looking for him. Mamoko mischievously calls out to the reporter, nearly giving away Kreen's location, which makes him panic and flee. She laughs heartily at his reaction, but once she's alone again, her thoughts drift back to Sora, and her smile fades as she's reminded of the bond he's forming with Amy. In the next scene, Amy is excitedly on the phone, and when she hangs up, she eagerly tells Sora that the bakery shop owner called. He mentioned that he recently saw Sora's parents and promised to let them know as soon as he sees them again. Sora is overjoyed at the news and, in his excitement, casually reaches out to hold Amy's hand, which surprises both of them. Amy quickly pulls her hand back, feeling a bit awkward, and starts eating some fruit to ease the tension, while Sora also begins to feel flustered. The scene then shifts to the following day. Amy is about to meet with her parents, who have invited Kevin, the man they want her to date. She brings Sora along and explains that he'll need to pretend to be her boyfriend in front of her parents and Kevin, hoping that it will make Kevin lose interest in her. Sora, agreeing to help, assures Amy that he'll play along with the act. They head inside, and shortly after, Kevin arrives. He immediately starts flirting with a random girl, true to his playboy nature, known for keeping multiple girlfriends and cycling through them regularly. Watching him, it's clear that Kevin is untrustworthy. Just as Sora excuses himself to go to the washroom, Kevin leaves the girl he was talking to and catches Amy's attention. Amy is clearly smitten, unaware that Kevin is the very person her parents want her to be with. In the next scene, Amy introduces Sora to her parents, who immediately question why she brought him along. Amy tells them that Sora isn't just any boy, he's the one she likes. Just as she's about to call Sora her boyfriend, she notices Kevin standing in front of her, realizing that he's the guy her parents had chosen for her. Her father introduces Kevin, saying he's the son of his friend, the owner of a recording company. Besides being handsome, Kevin is also very wealthy. Amy can't help but stare at him, and her parents assume that she's smitten with Kevin. They tell her to stop pretending with Sora, as they're sure she likes Kevin. Amy, not wanting to follow her parents' wishes blindly, protests, saying, "No, it's not like that. Kevin is good, but Sora is even better." She insists on keeping up the act because she knows her parents are pushing this relationship as a business deal, and what she truly wants is someone who will genuinely love and care for her. Kevin, amused, says, "All right, let's settle this. We'll see who's better, but for now, let's start lunch." As everyone begins eating, Kevin serves food to Amy's parents himself, impressing them with his charm and manners. Amy gives Sora a signal to do the same, but instead of serving her parents, Sora sweetly serves Amy, which leaves her parents unimpressed. To match Sora's gesture, Kevin serves something to Amy, and in an attempt to one-up him, Sora scoops a large portion of noodles onto Amy's plate. This irritates her parents, who scold him for his lack of manners. Nervous, Sora then moves half the noodles from Amy's plate onto her dad's, making him shout in frustration. Panicking, Sora tries to put the noodles on Amy's mom's plate, but she also starts complaining about his behavior. Flustered, Sora finally takes all the noodles onto his own plate and, to prove they're not bad, starts slurping them loudly, which only annoys Amy's parents further. Kevin, meanwhile, watches the whole scene unfold, barely containing his laughter at Sora's awkward attempts. In the next scene, we find Crean in the middle of a dance routine during his shoot. As he takes a break, a group of fangirls rushes over, overwhelming him with attention. Once they leave, Crean has a quiet moment to himself and realizes he's thinking about Mamoko, showing he's truly starting to miss her. Meanwhile, at the lunch, Sora is still clumsily eating. Amy, hoping to convince her parents, leans over and suggests he act more affectionate toward her. Sora hesitates, unsure how to act in love, but Amy encourages him to recall a time when someone loved him and just try to replicate it. Sora thinks back to his childhood, remembering how his mother used to lovingly comb his hair, apply powder to his face, and kiss him affectionately. With these memories in mind, he begins to imitate those gestures with Amy. First, he takes out a comb and carefully smooths Amy's hair. Everyone, including Amy, watches in surprise, taken aback by his unusual approach. Then he gently dusts some powder on her face, just as his mother once did, and finishes with a soft kiss on her forehead. Amy feels a bit flustered, and even Kevin is caught off guard by the display. Her parents exchange skeptical glances. Finally, Amy's parents confront her, revealing that they've spoken to her building's watchman, who told them that Sora only arrived a couple of days ago. Amy admits the truth, explaining that Sora isn't really her boyfriend. She then tells her parents that she staged the act to avoid having her future decided for her. Amy wants to choose someone who genuinely cares for her, someone she can feel a real connection with. With that, she takes Sora by the hand and leaves, making it clear to her parents that she intends to take control of her own life and decisions.